Hello, my friends. I've missed y'all. It's Feral Monday. I want to stay over here. So this is kind of it's a major flip shadow, okay? It's a very blue-brown, and you're even going to see some pink in there too. So I want to use this. Jean is snorting in the hallway. And then I want to use this. But I want to teach y'all kind of, this is a very pro technique. Some of you have probably already seen it, and we're going to get into it. But we need a pencil. We need a creamy eye pencil. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay down our eyeshadow base. We're going to use clean canvas on a C31. So I'm super excited. I was in Atlanta last week. That's where headquarters is for Rose and Ben Beauty. And we have some really fun things coming up. I'm really excited. That way I can finally start using the brushes in the tutorials. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this base from our lash line all the way up to our brow bone. Now we're going to get back to the creamy pencil here in a second. And we need this wet base underneath it for dry time. That's going to be important in just a second. Gene, I hear you. I wonder if he's in his bed. He's getting ready for today's tutorial. Oh, this is fun. Actually, probably not to most of you. But we got home Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, I spent most of my day bird watching. So where I live right now, the birds are coming from the south and they're going back north. So I have seen so many different kinds of little birds. Honestly, time of my life. Time of my life. So if you have a black eyeshadow base, you could absolutely use it right now. But this is going to be what we're going to lay down as our first kind of shape. You'll see this with a lot of pro artists. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to tilt my head back, and this particular creamy pencil doesn't dry down very quickly. And look, it can look atrocious. That's fine. This doesn't have a quick dry down time, which is plus. That's a plus. But also that wet base under there is also going to make it to where it doesn't set too quickly. And now I'm going to take black eyeshadow, and that's going to enhance it. Now my black eyeshadows have ran away. Okay, here's one. So let's grab that. And remember, when we're using black eyeshadow, we want our tiniest brush. And then again, I just want to reiterate that that black pencil underneath there is just going to enhance and just really make sure that this stays nice and black. And you could use a black base, but this is, I was saying that a black eye pencil is something we normally have right on hand. And this is going to look very messy. That's fine. But we needed that, tacky base underneath there. We can clean up the lid later, but we needed the tacky base to ensure that our eye pencil doesn't dry down too quickly, because once that pencil dries, it can fade, it can become patchy when we start to try to layer over it. So we need that tacky base underneath there. But let's just keep packing a little bit of black eyeshadow on top. And again, I want to just repeat, for using black eyeshadow, even though it might be messy, it could still be messier up this way. We don't want that. So that small brush is going to make sure that it doesn't get too messy where we can't fix it quite the same. We can fix the lid. The lid's easy to fix. But once it starts migrating too far out of the socket and starts to get up here to our brow bone, that's what we can't get back under control as easily. Now let's take this color, take it on the side. I'm going to start to transition right above that black. It's going to be really nice and cool toned. I'm excited. So one of the reasons I wanted to use black too is that's going to ensure that it stays really cool tone. And it's Feral Monday. I mean, we can get a little feral today. Well, we can. Gene can. He has to nap. He's already snoring. Ooh, these are nice. These are blending beautifully. Also notice that I'm working in really small sections. If you ever want to do a more intense eye look, it's so important to use a small brush and to work in smaller sections. No fluffy brushes at this point. That's just going to absolutely wreak havoc, and it's going to be absolutely everywhere. There we go. Take that all the way across. So these right here, they're extremely pigmented. So they're considered a pressed pigment. And I like to always kind of talk about the formula in a very small, I don't get too extensive, but this kind of formula was something that we really didn't see. Think of the ABH subculture. I like to reference that one because it was so ahead of its time. We were all using, we as a not me, but a lot of content creators at the time were using the fluffiest brush that they had in their collection to kind of go in with these extremely pigmented shadows and kind of just buff them on the way that we were used to using just a classic eyeshadow palette. Think ABH, Modern Renaissance. Even that one had some pressed pigments in it. Those red ones were a little bit, they took a little bit more of a delicate touch. So that's also why a small brush is important with these. It's really just about knowing what look you're after and then choosing that right product. It's another reason I never really just absolutely say I hate products, because I do have a certain look that I enjoy doing, but I know that there are lots of people that like to do different looks, a no makeup look. So a bronzer for a no makeup look is going to be different than a bronzer that I'm going to use on Feral Monday. So if you've ever wondered, wow, you never give negative reviews, it's because within reason, every makeup product, it has its place. I might not enjoy that because that's not my style, but it has a place and it has a skin type and it has even a climate that it likes. So it's not that I like everything. It's just that very rarely are there bad products unless it's Il Makiage. Now, let's take a little bit of this one. Still picking it up on the side. That way we can press. We're kind of out of the deep part of the eye now. We're going into the upper part. So we can tilt our head back and use the side to transition this a little bit more. I actually think I want to keep this transition more towards the outer part of the eye. I don't want to bring the purple over this way towards the bridge of the nose. So I'm just going to take my time, grab some more of that same shade. Nice. And just keep tapping to make sure all of the shades that we have on our eye are nice and transitioned. Still using the side of the brush to do this. This blend is so nice. These shadows are blending perfectly. This looks so good. I can't wait for you to see with back camera, honestly. Front camera, it's just here so we can chat. Back camera does what it needs to do. Now, I'm gonna take a larger brush, not much larger, and we're just using the side of it. And we're gonna grab just a smidgel of this shade, 2 taps of that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just place that through here. I feel that sometimes we forget we can use different shadows on different parts of the eye. We didn't have to take this purple all the way across. We can use different things. And I'm gonna push that into the brow a little bit. Well, I don't know what she's doing down there. She's doing something. And I'm gonna give you a tip. Can you believe it? So if you struggle with your eyeshadow kind of staying, or you just want to smooth it out just a little bit more, it's important for me to show you, and it seems irrelevant, but it's not. We'll get to what the powder is later, but see how little is there? I'm not even taking from here. Take from here, okay? Let's pick that up. You can barely see it. I'm going to start here at the very top of my brow. I'm going to take that, and I'm basically setting that eyeshadow base even further, and I'm blurring everything together. It's a really easy way to get a more even blend and to set. It's really, really helpful. Super helpful, especially if you live in a humid climate or your eyeshadow primers and your eyeshadow just doesn't last. I mean, we set everything else. Why not set our eyeshadow? Also, I used a fluffier brush because I'm going to get a more diffused application. I don't want to be too heavy-handed when it comes to setting the eyeshadow too much, and it's going to dull the colors that we have. It could become patchy. So you want to use your fluffy brush. You want that product just on the tip of the brush, and you just want to lightly stamp and go across. You don't even want to swipe. You don't want to drag. You want to just place it. That's important. So I even want to do kind of a blue-brown lip. We're going to come back to this later. Okay, imagine this on brown lipstick. But I want to, right now I'm trying to decide how I want to do this situation right here. That reminds me of, it has a little bit more red. You'll see with back camera, it's not quite as pink as it looks here. But it reminds me of MAC Blue Brown. Who remembers that pigment? Because I could not figure out that pigment for 1,000 years. And by the time I did figure it out, it was gone. And I'm sad. But we have this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna improvise. That's what we do. So this is pulling a little too pink for me. So instead of cleaning up my lid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add brown. We're gonna do a brown base. But let me go find a brown base. Okay, I think I already found it. So we're gonna use this. This is also another Melt Cosmetics gel liner. So we're just gonna layer it. And then let's see what this looks like now on top of this instead of by itself. There you go. That's what I needed. Now I don't know what she's doing down there. Isn't that wild? So we're still gonna see that depth we're gonna have, but you're gonna be able to see more of that blue-green flip. I love makeup. This is another Melt Cosmetics liner. We're just gonna take this all over our lid, take it up to the black. Don't worry about it going into the black evenly. It's about to be covered by a shimmer. And not only are shimmers just beautiful and fun, but they hide things. It's perfect. So I'm taking it on this brush and then I'm just placing it. And you can still see that beautiful pink green. Woo! Man, I need to find that pigment I was telling you about. It was one of my favorite things ever. But I never understood what colors to pair it with and how to use it. Because at the time, I was basically just focusing on Champagne Shadow. It's what I felt comfortable with, but now the things that I could do with it. For right now, I'm into a more round eye. That could change at any minute. So we're gonna take our Melt Black Pencil again. And all I'm doing is see how I'm kind of connecting it here and then filling in that gap. That's gonna round us out a little bit more. It's gonna make the eye just look very round, very large, very smudgy wudgy. There we go. And then I'm gonna tap over here just to smudge it a little bit. Nice. And then kind of go around the folds. So now I want to save my lip because I love this. No, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it with this look. I love it. But I have a vision of a more blue, and this has a little bit more green. Don't you shut the door on me. But since I'm not going to use it, I will tell you what it was. But I want to match it because I have, see, this isn't blue enough. This is the blue I'm after. This is a little bit too much green. But this is from J Cat Beauty. These are my absolute favorite. Twinkle Toes is probably my favorite lip gloss that's ever lip glossed. But this is the shade Kryptonite. Yep, this is shade Kryptonite. And don't be afraid of it. It looks terrifying, but it would just be so pretty as a topper. A lot of the glosses that you already have, some of them might even have blue in them. So never be afraid of a blue lip gloss. It's not, I don't really watch Friends, but I do know that we referenced that one episode with Joey and the blue lipstick, but it will not be that, I promise. But I am gonna find us something that kind of matches from these Kaleidos liners. So let me figure out which one I wanna use. Oh wait, what's that? You just want me to swatch them all on my cheek? Okay. So here we have Limelight. Keep in mind, these are going to be flips, so you won't be able to see them how multi-chrome they are here with my direct light, but I'll show you in low light in just a second. So that was Limelight, Night of Creation. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Oh my goodness. I want to do a whole look, a graphic look with these. And then here we have Seven Seas. Nice. Still not the ones I'm looking for. And then here we have Sea Sparkle. Ooh, I think this might be it. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh, let me put that one aside. It's a very light blue. And then we have, I don't want to run out of time, Tourmaline. Here's that one. Ooh, I think that's the one I want to use. I like that. See how you can see that color through there? It's just going to really enhance it. That one might be it. Which one was this one? I'm getting ahead of myself. Solaris. Ooh, wait, hang on. Oh, that one's just a little bit more red. See, I like the more kind of pinky undertone one. Oh, I love the options here. And that's gonna have a green shift, by the way, that one is. You can kind of see it there on the packaging. And then, last but not least, wait, that's Sea Sparkle. No, we did it. Yeah, that's all of them. I just got too excited. Yeah, I wanna use this one. We're gonna use that one. So I decided to use Sea Sparkle. This one is just everything. We're gonna use that on our waterline. Nice. Oh, that's so pretty. Let's do this side. And then I'm gonna come back to the other shade. And we're gonna apply that underneath here once I get our base on. I'm also kind of looking to see what else I'd wanna do with it. No, let's just keep it at that. These are really smooth and really pigmented. I'm excited to use these more. So I really zoomed in, and here it is in low lighting. You can see the flips in these. That's a pretty one up here, that kind of turquoise to green. Fun. Just wanted y'all to be able to see them. Now, if you're sad that we're not going to do that lip, don't worry, we're going to do this. These are also from JCat Beauty, and it's going to be kind of in the same realm. Look at this. That's going to go on top of kind of a similar color lip. We have fun. We're doing Libre Lashes style number 4. I haven't worn lashes since I've been traveling. I'll just do my little mascara situation that I love doing, where I curl with the powder after. So I've missed my floofers. Okay, I've missed my floofers. I love Frill Monday. It's so much fun. So to me, this eye doesn't feel very intense. I know, listen, we're all on a different makeup journey. And I think mine is going to involve, not a drape. I don't want to take it into the eyeshadow, but I want to do really heavy blush right here. Just let me live. I want to use the Secret brush so bad, but I have been informed to wait. Okay, I've been informed. I just need to wait. And I'm gonna break all the makeup rules right now, but I'll wait. Okay, we'll use it. When does it launch? I can't tell y'all even when it launches yet, but it's so soon. It's gonna sneak up on you and be like, beep. That's what it's gonna do to you. But let me look, let me see. Maybe I can use it on Friday. Let me go check my dates. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Like I said, I can't give anything away. But I think I will use it next Monday. I know it feels like an eternity, but I think I might do Friday. I'll have a chat. But I think that I'll definitely use it by Monday because it's a game changer. All right, I'm just gonna do a regular routine. I'm so excited for it. So NARS sent me this, and it's not gonna be a perfect shade because this particular formula in NARS runs very warm. This is the Light Reflecting Foundation. I'm gonna give it a really good shake. It even says shake well on here. And I feel sometimes that we sometimes forget that shaking makes such a difference in formula. And do you see how long I'm shaking it for? I'll shake it for a minute. I really will, because it makes such a difference. I'll be here shaking for just a little bit longer. So just because this particular shade range doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it's not gonna work for other people. So many people have a warm undertone, and NARS is wonderful for that. They have such a great formula and they run warm, and a lot of people need that. So for me, what I will do is I'll go ahead and throw this on, and the shade that is closest is the shade Santa Fe, but you can see that's much too warm. The range is correct. I'm in the correct range. It's right there in the light range, but it's going to be too warm for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, and I'm just gonna go in on top with a pink powder later. It's a really good way to make this work for me. But let me tell you about the formula. Let's talk about the formula. It's very thin. That's good. It's also pigmented. It's got some really nice pigment to it. And I feel that it's going to be good. I honestly don't feel like this would be great for very oily skin types because it feels very much like the Laura Mercier one. And it has this, I don't like to use the word oily because we think of that and we think negative. But it has a very wet texture. Let's just say it feels very, very wet on the skin. And I can tell by the dry time and even how it's sitting on my balance to dry skin, which is what it would work for. I can tell that it might be something that with super oily skin, I think combination could get away with it. But I feel that it's going to kind of want to move around the face a little bit. And before I even went and looked at it, you can just feel the skincare in it. And that's another thing. So I have prepped my skin and I didn't know what foundation I was going to wear. But had I known I was going to grab this one, I would have scaled back that skincare. That's something I'm going to be so annoying about right now. And the reason why I'm going to be so repetitive is because a lot of us are used to, even think of the Armani foundation. Think of that one. It doesn't have a ton of skincare in it. And we're prepping our skin for foundations that don't have skincare in them. But we're having a new wave of skincare infused foundation. And it's great. This one even promises a more even tone later, which we love that. But what we're going to get from that is kind of a mess later if we do that same amount of skin prep. It's not going to wear the same. It's going to be a nightmare. So that's why I'm going to be annoying and just keep repeating myself. Oh, the shade match is funny. And also this green in here is going to make it look even worse. We've talked about that before, how your eyeshadow can really pull your foundation to look differently. All right, let's try to take it down the neck. I'm not going to worry about it as much. Again, we'll fix it with pink powder. It's going to add that little bit of coolness that I need, but we're not there yet. So as for concealer, I think that today, let's use, there was one I wanted to use and I forgot what it was because I want to use one that's a little bit not as brightening. My Makeup Forever might be a little bit too light, and another way to kind of salvage this shade match is to not go too light with the concealer. So let me swatch the ones I have. This is the one I was after. Let's do this Live Tinted one. It's not going to be too light on me. You're thinking that actually looks like a very light concealer. Yes, but the Makeup Forever one is even lighter compared, not compared to my skin tone, but compared to this foundation. So that's what we're doing. We're a fixin'. So I am a Texan. So we're going to take our concealer brush here. I'm just going to start to work this in. Take it down my nose. This is already going to kind of add a more neutral effect to that foundation. But I actually love the way the foundation feels. I think it's a very light reflecting. So what that means is that light, that, let me think of how I'm trying to do my words. The pigments in here, the way the light reflects on them, it gives a very blurring effect to the skin. And that's very beautiful. But this particular formula just runs very warm, so I can't participate the same way that a warm, I was saying I can't participate in the foundation quite the same way that I can other shade ranges. And I've always known that about NARS. In fact, I think NARS is where I realized I was not a warm undertone. I remember trying to be a warm undertone. This was many moons ago. And I finally figured out that I wasn't because of how yellow this range runs. I was fighting for my life. I remember there was a particular fun, I don't even know if they still have it, but it was in the little pods. It was refillable, kind of ahead of its time, which is cool. I was not the shade that I was wearing. I was not. I, in fact, was not. No matter how hard I tried, I was not. This concealer is beautiful. This is blurring. That's a 10 out of 10. I can't wait to see this one with foundation that I actually like. Not the doorbell. Oh God, I don't think he heard it. Everybody keep talking. Oh, and just a few more things about the foundation. It's medium coverage. So it's not going to be a full coverage foundation. I feel like it's very blurring. And I feel that it might be a little too skincare infused for combination going right over into oily. Now, if you're just barely combination, yes, oily. So this is important. Listen, I'm gonna teach you something, which we probably already know it, but just in case. I'm gonna use this pink powder. This is a extremely pink powder, and this isn't actually gonna go underneath my eyes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this onto a fluffier brush. I'm gonna grab a C41, and I'm actually just gonna grab it from the lid. And what I'm doing is I'm color correcting the yellow. So I'm just gonna do one side of my face. And a pink powder like this is so important to have if you have a cool undertone, because you're gonna be able to pull everything back to a more cool tone, more pink. It's going to add, and I'm picking up such a small amount. We don't wanna just go into absolutely Pepto-Bismol face. Maybe we do. But this is going to color correct that and bring the warmth, not the warmth, it's going to take the warmth and put the cool. And if you have a warm undertone, you could do a yellow powder, because that's going to add the yellow that you need in case you have foundation. I was saying that if you have foundations that sometimes pull a little too pink, you could try the yellow powder. I'll do a video on it, but you want to gradually build this up, and it's such a blurring, beautiful powder anyways. And I'm just doing one side of my face so you can see that difference. But remember, this doesn't need to go underneath our eye. We put this directly underneath the eye, I'm gonna have a very pink under eye, which is not what I'm after. So I'm gonna use a powder closer to my skin tone underneath here, but we needed the pink to color correct, to take that yellow out. I love makeup, and oof, I love color theory. So I purchased this Makeup Forever powder. I wanted to try it out. This is the HD Skin Setting Powder. This one's gonna have a undetectable shine control too, especially in this humid climate. So we're gonna tap that out. Remember, we didn't want to put the pink underneath there. I don't want a pink under eye. If you do want a pink under eye, you could just do the powder, but that's not what I'm after. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and really press it in to the center. And look at how nice. I haven't tried this powder. This is my first time. It feels so finely milled. I'll keep you updated on the shine control. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just press it mostly in the center. I'm not gonna worry about from here back. Don't worry about that if you're balanced to dry. Not as much, because remember, that pink powder's over there, the one that we corrected with, so we don't need double powder over there. This looks beautiful. Ooh, I'm excited. Wow, now I'm back to adding the pink on this side. Don't be afraid to go in, but definitely you want to use a fluffier brush. You want to use a very diffused brush. You could even use something more fluffy than the C41. I might need to make that. Maybe I already did. Now let's get some bronzer on. Everything's set, so we can just kind of go in. We don't have to worry too much about any kind of patchiness, which, you know what, honestly, with these newer, very finely milled pressed powders even, I can even go on top of wet foundation, but just in case you're not really sure about pressure, setting before, until you figure out the pressure and how to kind of stamp and press things in and kind of control that blend, it's going to be usually easier to set and then go in with your powder bronzer. That looks so nice. I'm telling y'all, this Kiko Milano bronzer is just perfection. The way that it just blurs and melts into the skin. It's a little heavy there. Yes, I want it heavy because then I'll transition it in just a second. I'm gonna show you, but I love it. And also we're using the C40 and stamping. Then remember our C41 that might have a little bit of that powder left in it. And I'm not hitting it here, okay? I still want it to be pretty harsh, not harsh. It's most pigmented here, okay? On that top part of the forehead. There's a slope there. We want it to be the most pigmented on top of that. Now, once we get to the slope, that's a really good transition guide. Ooh, we are going deep today. So as the forehead and as the face is sloping, that's where we want to transition it. So the top part, and the reason why, there's a method behind this. So the sun is going to hit us the hardest right here, and it's going to hit it, see how it's sloped here? As it goes down this way, it's going to be obviously less pigmented. So there is a method to it. It's not just putting things on the face. It's all in mimicking what kind of naturally happens out and about in the wild. Let's get back into this now that we have our concealer all nice and set. I wanted this underneath here. I think that'll be fun. And I was right. That's a whole party. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, and it makes my brown eyes look so intense. That is beautiful. It's Feral Monday, right? Let's bring it really far down. So I'm bringing it all the way down to where I can feel the curve of my eyeball down here, okay? I'm kind of following that. Kind of morbid, but when we start looking at the eye and kind of feeling for it, that's when we get really used to our eye shape. So it's a really good way to kind of figure out your eye shapes. I'm usually following, see, when I'm even pressing in here, hang on now, children. Sound like my mother. Where did my little brush go? Well, apparently there's going to be no teaching. I'll just show you with this. I'm just going to retract it just so I can show you. When I'm feeling around in here, I'm feeling for that bone, and that's where I'm placing that dark shadow. So it's all about feeling around on the eye. This is fun. I'm excited. Speechless. This color makes me so happy. I'm pretty sure this is going to be wildly pigmented. So this is just where I wanted to place it right now. I'm not going to take it into the eyeshadow. Okay, the pigment is there. And I'm using my C41. And then I'm using that slope there, and I'm using that to transition it just a little bit. So it's not just a big patch. I'm trying to decide if I want to take some powder and reshape it. I think I do. But we'll get to that in a second. We're having fun. We're just having fun. We're painting. Wow, this color's gorgeous. And that's it linked up there. The pigment is so pigmented. That's so good. It's so good. So what I meant by reshape it is I kind of want to take it away from there. So what we can do is just throw some powder on, let it sit for a second. It's gonna take it down just a little bit. I don't mind the transition upwards. And I'm just gonna use a puff. We're just gonna let it bake for just a second. By a second, give it 2 minutes. It's a second in my book. So this is fun. A lot of times we think baking, and the only thing we think of is we think underneath our eyes or through the center, but really baking can be used to reshape things. This was fine the way that it was, but I'm going for a very specific side of the face look, and I don't even want it to be too blended and too diffused. So by letting this powder sit here, it kind of just goes in and makes really good friends with the makeup that's already on my face, and it absorbs the pigment from the powder, which then covers up, not a full coverage cover up, but it covers up and kind of reshapes what I'm going for here. It reshapes that very pigmented blush. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm using the powder that I already tagged earlier. By the way, this is Jumbo. I love that. I love it. I'm already loving that powder. But I just wanted to let you know what we're doing here. So we're not really doing this for longevity, even though it will. We're reshaping with it, and you can do that with baking. It's fun. So I'm gonna take this Kiara Weiss lip liner. It's in, I just saw it, then I lost it. It's in the shade Deep. And it's definitely the brown that I'm after, because I want to top that. Ooh. I know you're looking and you're thinking this looks horrifying, but I see our end result, and I like it. This is a very creamy lip liner. I like it. And then one of the greatest tips I can give you about baking is, instead of dusting this away, take your foundation brush, press it in. Nice. So then I just took my finger and I just kind of buffed it into the center. And then I always go around. Look, this is really important. So I go around with my C40 that somehow got into the foundation earlier. There we go. And I'll just kind of clean up. I love a clean lip line. And what this also does is it kind of creates a border. So our glosses, lipsticks, really anything doesn't run away. I love this makeup look so much. All right, let's get ready for our lip gloss. Click, click, put on your makeup seatbelt. All right, let's go ahead and put this on top. Oh, this is fun. Ooh, super comfortable too. I'm in love. And then, by the way, these are only $7. I think I might just take this off and film it. This is so pretty to me. I love it. I normally would have just done a nude, but I love this so much more. I love makeup. So I feel like we need to do this color here on our inner corner. Just a little bit of it. I don't want to get too wild and just have it brighten, so I'm grabbing a small amount. Perfect. I didn't want to get too wild, but I did want to just a little bit of a sparkle there. Switch sides. They're E27. These are so pretty. There's going to be a pink one. And I know the moment I post that pink one, it will probably go viral. Because that I feel like this is just what we're after this year. It's not too pigmented, and then we just get this ton of sparkle. Just me. And then you see that blush. That's really fun. So normally it would creep down a little bit, but by baking it stops there. Obviously it's not a harsh line, but it definitely, what that's gonna do, it's gonna add a little bit of lift to the face, and it's also gonna widen the face a little bit. And I think sometimes we hear the word widen, we don't want that, but we just play around with blush shapes. Just play around with it. And also blush colors. I just feel that anything that has color to it, just express yourself. Just play around till you find something. Maybe you'll find something that you only want to wear, but I don't like to limit myself. I want to wear all the colors. The only thing that I really focus on and want it to always kind of be the same is my foundation and concealer shade. Everything else to me is art and it's expression. So if you feel confident and beautiful and just you're enjoying it, if you like it, wear it. So I also have another brush here. I'm gonna sneak it. There's this shadow. Whee! Okay, now it's back. We can't use that one right now. But what I can use is, I'll just use my C41 again. This highlighter is also from the brand that the eyeshadow palette was from. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Why am I showing it to you upside down? It's a kitty. Ooh, I love kitties. I don't know if y'all know that. I'm just gonna swirl it together on our brush. Let me get that to focus, and then I'm just going to do some highlighter because it's for all Monday. Oh, I love it. All right, I want to film some more stuff today, so I'm going to stop here. It's enough painting. I love this look. I love how this kind of ties in to the warmth here, so there's a little bit of a connection. This one's cooler right here, the purple. And I think it's important for me to walk you through the tones once we're done. So it's kind of tying in here, okay? It's tying in like that. And that's just so pretty to me. And then there's the separation because this tone isn't quite the same as this, so there's some separation there. Oh, I love makeup. Also this lip. I don't think anyone's gonna be able to tell me what for the rest of the day while I wear this lip. I'm gonna be insufferable. Okay, I love you all so much. It feels so good to be home. I'm here. I'm here for the rest of the week. I'm here. They ain't dragging me out of this house. It's not gonna happen. I'm so excited. Tomorrow I wanna use this. We're gonna do something a little bit more demure. But also, is this not one of the prettiest champagne-y gold shadows you've ever seen? Look at this. Look at the pigment on that. It's like liquid. Yeah, that's going on my eye tomorrow. Looking forward to putting that on my eyeball. And I feel like I'll try to do a look tomorrow that is pretty universal. I've been getting, a lot of you are going to go do some fun things and you're all wanting kind of a universal look that goes with a lot of different outfits. So I think that's what we're going to do tomorrow. I love you. in case nobody's told you today, I love you with all my heart, and I will see you in the comments tonight.